Hey guys, welcome back here to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel. The Combine is now fully wrapped up as teams ramp up for free agency and fill some of the needs here heading into the 2014 season. We always have the ever-present NFL draft rumors, circulating here, and some interesting things coming out of the Combine. And at the Combine is where you really get to see firsthand, okay, and for the first time, guys at the same position begin to separate themselves from each other, with their stock either going up or their stock going down. And that's a lot of what I wanted to focus on today. And I'll start with the quarterbacks. And for me, I've said it repeatedly on this channel, I think Teddy Bridgewater from Louisville is the best quarterback available in this upcoming draft. And that if I'm the Texans, I'm taking Bridgewater if it is a quarterback that I want to take number one overall. But you keep on hearing these rumors with only the name Blake Bortles really being tied with any significance to the Texans. And more analysts in the know, experienced guys in their mock drafts have Bortles at that number one spot. And, I have my new mock draft here coming out in the next couple days where I'll do a 7-round mock draft right here on YouTube. But I'm coming around more and more to Bortles being that number one guy. But for me, my quarterbacks are rated Bridgewater, Manziel, and then Bortles. But again, something to monitor here at the quarterback position. Moving from quarterback to the linebacker spot. And Khalil Mack and Anthony Barr are thought to be those, edge pass rushers from the linebacker spot that outside of Jadeveon Clowney, who's projected to be more of a defensive end, 3-4 linebacker type guy. Barr and Mack, both linebackers that, these are two guys, again, that where will each be drafted? Which one will be drafted ahead of the other? You're starting to see Khalil Mack separate himself here from Anthony Barr. And I think that's going to be the difference between Mack going in the top 6 or 7, all right, and Barr going in the top 11 or 12. I think that's the difference we're talking about here with Khalil Mack and certainly Anthony Barr. If Mack gets past the Buccaneers at 7, I would be surprised. And Anthony Barr, I expect to go at the latest, number 11 to the Titans here at this point in time here in the process. But two guys that can get after the passer. I just think Mack's game a little more refined and a little bit more well-rounded and worth taking there in the top 6 or 7. Last position here, offensive tackle. And I think the top 3 offensive tackles are pretty set in stone right now. I think it's whatever order you have them in. Greg Robinson, Jake Matthews, and Taylor Lewan. Where the talk really begins to spike up here is who is that 4th offensive tackle that could very well make his way into the mid-late first-round area. Because I expect all 3 of the bigger tackles to be gone by pick 13 to the Rams. So that 4th guy for a long time was thought to be Cyrus Kouandjio, but if there was a guy at the Combine that didn't help himself that much at all, it was Kouandjio. And on the flip side of that, you had a guy in Zack from Notre Dame that I think really improved his draft stock. So for me, Martin now moves into that number 4 tackle spot with a guy who has the versatility to play guard if needed. But now I think he firmly is in that mid to late first-round discussion here at the left tackle spot. And, who knows with Kouandjio, maybe his stock improves here. But right now, from everything you're seeing and hearing, that's sort of how everyone expects it to play out as of now. Something I thought was pretty interesting was Mike Zimmer on a very candid guy. If you haven't heard Zimmer talk yet, I'm sure if you're a Vikings fan you have. But Zimmer's known for being a very candid guy. He was on NFL Network, and he was talking about all the negative rumors surrounding Jadeveon Clowney. And for a guy in Zimmer's spot, the more negative rumors, maybe by some chance, which no one expects, he slips all the way to 8 to the Vikings. And that's exactly what Zimmer said, that he hopes the negative rumors about Clowney keep on circulating so he falls, to the Vikings at 8 and the Vikings can snatch him up. It was good to hear that candidness and honesty here, even though I don't expect in my wildest dreams for Clowney to slip all the way to number 8. It was nice to see Zimmer being honest about a player that he's obviously very interested if he gets the chance of bringing him into Minnesota. And, 2 guys in the secondary that I think solidified and helped themselves at the Combine. First and foremost, Clinton Dix. And, a lot of teams have now, or a lot of analysts and media types have wanted to link Dix to their team or to the team that they cover. And I would be surprised now if you see Dix fall past the Packers there, with their pick that they have here in the early 20s of the draft. I think he would be a perfect match in Green Bay. I think if they ever get a player of his quality that slides that far, it'd be insane not to jump on him. I would be surprised if Dix makes it past that pick 20 overall. I think he's a top 10 overall player in this draft, and you can catch up my scouting report of him. I think cover safety is a very underrated premium position in the NFL, and when you could get a young one that covers ground, that can come up in the run game and make hits, if he lasts past 20, any team past 20 that has any sort of even maybe need for a safety should jump on Clinton Dix, certainly. And lastly is Jason Verrett of TCU. He ran a 4.340. The only knock on Verrett is the fact that he's 5'10". He's a guy who could play in the slot for you right away tomorrow. And as I've said here for months and even going on a year and a half, 2 years on this channel, that slot cover position in the NFL is one that you could consider a starter. And I think the teams that think out of the box and have forward thinking already consider it that way. And, I look for teams like the 49ers late in the first round to be a possible fit for a guy like Verrett, a guy that can start playing inside for you right away and I think can play outside, down the line here in the NFL. He has the aggressiveness to tackle in the slot as well on the outside, uses his body very well, high vertical, fast as lightning running that 4.340, the fastest of any defensive back at the combine. So Jason Verrett from TCU, a guy, again, that's been climbing up into the back end of the first round for me here as I go through the different prospects. So, guys, that's my take on some of the stuff from the Combine, some of these sort of takeaways from the Combine as far as those position battles go. Let me know what you guys think. Hit me up in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter as well. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, guys. It's completely free. I do these kinds of draft rumor videos, but if you take a look at my catalog here, probably 4 or 5 videos a day dealing solely with the NFL and NFL draft. So be sure to subscribe. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.